music in the middle of the dial. You know, it's a big thing because radio historically, especially urban radio, black radio, soul radio, had always been at the end of the dial, usually on the right-hand side.
Right.
And every city in America you went to, if you wanted to know where the soul station was,
it was in the ghetto.
It was always on the end of the dial on some small powered radio station.
That's right.
But they always had all the listeners for some strange reason. And it seemed that same attitude transpired to FM, because then the FM urban stations were always at the end.
Right.
And when this station came on and it was in the center of the dial, that was one of the biggest things about the inception of 98.7 Kiss FM. And one would think that, this can go on forever. We would go on to be the new heritage radio station. We were the station that started playing hip-hop on a regular basis with the mixes, as C alluded to earlier. You know, you had master mixes on the station. We took the music, we customized the music. We even went so far as to have it playing during the day, maybe after 3 in the afternoon, and on the weekend we would play it all day.
Even in the morning. And
talking to Eric B yesterday, he was on my show yesterday. Eric B was saying that, you know, for up-and-coming artists to hear their songs on a radio station in New York, if you were an MC or a rapper, gave you motivation that, man, maybe I may not have to get another job. That was a big thing for them to hear that. As time went on, the Classic Soul, this radio station brought back records, brought back songs that hadn't been played in the city in a long time when it moved over to be Classic Soul, when it was when they made the transition. You heard Otis Redding records that had never played in New York, Bloodstone songs that really wasn't playing on the radio anyplace. This station did a lot of things first. And I guess this is keeping with tradition. We're one of the first to go in this matter. But, you know, I'm grateful because I've had an opportunity to work with some incredible people and to meet, and I mean here in this building. I mean, we can all talk about the artists and everything that we all have come to know because of what we do, what we've been blessed to do. Take a hobby and make it a career. But the people that I've had an opportunity to work with, Bob Slade, like he was, like Chuck said, the first cat you saw when you came to Kiss FM, sitting in that little room with the two Sony TVs, rocking in the chair. And I came in. I was a part-time announcer. Barry Mayo brought me in as a part-time announcer. This is when I was doing the Ross Lewis Act because the station I was working for, the checks were bouncing, and I hadn't yet quit. But I needed to get some money. My baby was still young. I needed to get some money to work to kind of hold the money over until the check cleared from the other place. Barry gave me an opportunity, and I got to the station playing the master mixtapes with God bless Tony Humphreys and the Latin Rascals, and I would go outside and stand on Broadway and listen to watch the cars pass by with Kiss on, saying, "Damn, I'm on Broadway in New York," after working in Jacksonville and all those little markets and stuff. But you know, this is a good time because we got an opportunity to take stock in everything that we have been blessed to be involved in. So I'm feeling real happy right now. I'm feeling grateful. And I think that the listeners, I know you're pained, but I think that we got to feel good about this. We understand the socio-economic economics of this. Of course, my brother Sanford always puts that on Front Street. And it is a lot of that. Maybe it's all of that. But for right now, I think that we should just cherish the memory of having been a part of this. And let's just hope that we can get ourselves another 20 or 30 years somewhere in this town or somewhere in these United States.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. By the way, you know, most radio stations, when it's time to change the format or switch or change whatever, they only give you a chance to say goodbye. At least we're getting a chance to say goodbye, and we thank the folks at MS for allowing us to do that. All right, what we're going to do is take a break, and we're going to spend our final moments reminiscing. Your phone calls as well. You're listening to the Weekend Review, the final minutes of 98.7 Kiss FM. Don't go away.
98.7 Kiss FM says farewell, New York. Over 30 years of great music and community service will live on starting Monday on 107.5 WBLS. Here's your Kiss calendar.
Tune in to Shaila tomorrow for a special Midday Monday. She'll be giving away tickets to see the one and only Al Green every hour. He'll be performing live August 22nd at the Beacon Theater. If you can't win your way in, get your tickets from Ticketmaster.com.
For more info, log on to 987kissfm.com.
This part of Kiss FM is brought to you by HUD to prevent loan scams.
All right, way to go, Michael. It's 11:43. We're counting it down. We got about 17 minutes left of 98.7 Kiss FM. Welcome back to the Weekend Review, the last broadcast for 98.7 Kiss FM. As a matter of fact, our good buddy Stephen A. Smith from ESPN Radio will be taking over at midnight, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, he will.
No one cares.
Wow.
That's my man. I love him. I love him anyway.
We had him on the open line. And
There's nothing he can do about it. Yeah,
that's
it.
right.
There you go. We got a lot of guests on the live line. We're going to hit these folks real quick. We've got Tony Q, one of our former program directors on the live line. Tony Q.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
Just fine, my brother. You went through all the Weekend Reviews back in the day. You probably said to yourself, I got to take that show off the air. No.
No, never. You know, I was listening to Fred. I've been listening to you, and I know I got to make this short. But I'm kind of mad right now for several reasons. One, I think we have to bring regulation back into radio. And Kiss FM became a casualty of conglomerate radio. And the Kiss FM that's going off the air isn't the Kiss FM that we created and made number one. And really, the threesome of us were the part of that. I mean, Fred was my assistant program director, Night Rocker. You know, you guys are the survivors of the originals. And somehow I feel kind of disappointed that I didn't get the opportunity to come back and fix it. And being an urban contemporary radio station that it once was music of the city, and with deregulation, it kind of segregated the music and took away the reflection of the city. And it's a shame. I think everybody's got a right to own a radio station, and with deregulation and the way the stocks and all that, it's a sad day, and Kiss FM did not have to be a casualty. If deregulation never happened, Kiss FM would still be on the air and going strong. Yeah. And it's sad. And I miss 98.7. I miss what it stood for. A lot of hard work. We had a lot of great talent. And we were the number one station in America. And that we can't forget.
That's right. Several times, as a matter of fact. And one time with you, my brother. No doubt about it. Tony Q.
And I'll miss you guys. And you'll always be in my heart. And we'll be around because it's a small world and a big business.
Hey. And I'm coming to Delaware from one of those airships on the week.
I was about to throw my hat in the ring, brother. If I can't land something, I'm going to call you up right now.
Wow. You got it.
Love you, Tony. Thanks for everything, man.
Yeah,
bye, baby.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Tony Q.
We got Norman on
Tony Quarterone. Yeah, Norman Seabrook. Very quickly, Norman Seabrook from Cobra, the Correctional Officers Benevolent Association. Go ahead, Norman.
Hey, Norm. What's happening? How you doing?
Norman's on line 12.
Oh, there you get the wrong line. There you go.
Brothers. I just want to say real quick, you know, it's like, first of all, it's like sitting up until New Year's come at midnight.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, the bottom line to it is that the Correctional Officers Benevolent Association has done tremendous amount of money in advertising on Kiss FM and on other radio stations throughout the city to keep our names out there. So have the UFT with Mike Mulgrew. So has the TWU with John Samuelson. So has DC 37 with Lillian Roberts. You talked about snowstorms. You talked about charter schools. You talked about elected officials running for different political offices, where all of these other stations don't give us those avenues. All of these other newspapers don't give us that ink. So I understand that the entire organization can't go over to WBLS, but those people that I just named along with others that put up money for advertisement and things like that. We need to make sure that WBLS understands that the open line and the weekend review, we're asking for one day, comes to the table. Because if they don't come to the table, then the people that are listening that continuously call and say, well, I feel sorry for you, we need to show them how sorry we are that you're leaving by not turning on WBLS tomorrow and let them see that their numbers didn't move. If their numbers don't move, then they got to sit us at the table and say, well, why aren't my numbers moving? Why isn't Norman Seabrook and the Correction Officers Union spending $100,000 a year to advertise with our station? Why isn't DC 37 putting up another 100? Why isn't TWU putting up another 100? That's $500,000 to $1 million just gone, just like that. So I'm in your corner. I mean, for team, and the third answer was at my granddaughter's funeral. This is personal, you understand? And we're going to do what it is that we have to do to make sure that the voice continues to be heard on Sunday mornings.
Brother Norman, thank you,
Norman.
Thank you very much, Norman. Really appreciate it. We got another guest on the line now with that comedian Kevin. Kevin, very quickly, brother, come on, say a couple of words, and we got to go to Shaila. Shaila is next.
Yeah, well,
very quickly, my brother.
Everybody's saying want to make this real quick. Well, I'm gonna make this real long.
Yeah. That's good. You're gonna get cut off too. We're counting it down 11 minutes. Go ahead.
Matter of fact, we start right now. Cut him off, son.
Oh, don't do me
cut
like
him
that.
off.
I gotta say this to the distinguished men in the room. But the only reason why I called to say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and I want everybody to know this and stamp it in history. I love you, Bob Slade.
My brother, thank you.
No,
appreciate
that's
that.
real question.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
don't know this. Bob Slade gave me my start in radio. He's been my radio mentor and a friend. And I thank you for being there with you, Isaac Case, and Trip, Crazy Mike Shannon, and to your disciples, I love Fatine, Peter Noel, Cutman, The Wicked Picket, and Ntume.
All right.
And I thank y'all so much. And I just want people to know that Bob Slade, sir, you are a beautiful man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I really mean that.
Well, thank you kindly.
Godfather.
And I mean that. And that's no joke.
All right.
I love you, sir.
I love you too, and nothing you can do about it.
10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
10 minutes away.
Thank you, Kevin.
Away.
Kevin. By the way, before we go to Shaila, one last thing. DJ Cool Clyde came down here very quickly. I know our condolences to you. You lost your pops.
Sorry to hear that.
And you want to say a couple of words before we get ready to roll out? Go ahead, brother. Let me stand over there with Yankee clothes on. Come on.
First of all, I want to thank you. I learned so much from you, man. So much from all of you guys. From being up here with you, Jeff Fox, Sheila, Cutman, Peter Noel, Fatima Harmon. He brought me over to the Reverend Al Sharpton show. You know, I've been producing Open Line with you guys. I learned so much with Andrew Veras. I mean, just so many. Robin. It's just, I mean, I'm like tearing right now because this means so much to me, man. You taught the black community so much, man, and I bring this back home to my television show, BronxNet in the Bronx, man. So I'm gonna miss all you guys, man. You know, and I know that y'all not going nowhere. I know eventually, somewhere down the line, you're gonna have your avenue to give back to the black community, man. And I'm gonna miss this. 98.7 Kiss, WRKS FM New York, the first DJ to scratch on wax worldwide. You dig?
All right, we got that.
9 minutes left.
All right, Shaila.
You know, we needed some estrogen all up in this farewell. You know that, right? A little bit more estrogen. But Bob Slade, I want to once again reiterate what everyone has said. You have been, every relative I can think of to me. You've been a father in radio. You've been a godfather. You've been a stalker. We know that.
Yes, indeed, Miss Shaila.
But, you know, I want to thank you because from day one, you have embraced me, and I think we have a lot in common, being that we were from Harlem, and I think, you know, coming up and wanting to be in radio, and for me, listening to Kiss and seeing Chuck Leonard and hearing Mary Thomas, and just wondering if I would ever make it, and finally to be surrounded by these legends, the ones before me, and still we've got some in here that may come after me. I want to say thank you, New York, thank you for the music, the memories, and I'm hoping that that will leave an indelible mark on your heart where it will bond us, regardless of this frequency. It will bond us forever. Bob, I know that we are bonded, honey. Miss Slade already knows about me.
8 minutes.
8 minutes and counting. That was your sisterly kiss, by the way.
That was my sisterly kiss.
Okay, by the way, you can hear Shaila as the midday personality on WBLS starting tomorrow.
Yes.
And